talking with Morten Raustein. He is an official with the Civil Aviation Authority here in Norway. And we just wrapped up the show, and I would have to say from my own, let's say, observations, I see a thriving community. They keep talking about how this community here is growing by leaps and bounds, and I personally would attribute that to a Civil Aviation Authority that is open to hearing about possible uses for this technology and helping facilitate that. Maybe you could give us a little background into your thoughts on that.
We saw that we would be much better off being positive towards this new business rather than being restrictive. By using a big bunch of common sense applied with principles from the established aviation, we could safely allow operations to happen.
And a lot of the presentations that we heard today are people that are out there doing business and making money and building businesses.
Yeah, that's correct. We immediately saw that to get acceptance to introduce this new player in the existing aviation field, we needed to act as aviators. If we continued like it had been up till then, perceived as model aircraft, we would not succeed. So we had to go down the beaten path of 100 years of experience and make this into aircraft, aviation, and commercial aviation. And what do you have in commercial aviation? Of course, you have manuals, systems, checklists, the whole shebang that we have by 100 years of failures come up with today. I mean, all the regulations are written in blood. Now we have a new business, and we don't have to do all the same mistakes all over again.
Did you, even back in 2009, did you see this as being potentially the future of aviation?
Yeah, sure. I started in 2003 with drones in the armed forces, and kind of looked into it more in a structured way during my time there, and I saw that, hey, this is going up and away, and it's not going to disappear, because the possibilities and it's only the fantasy that sets the limitations. And I mean, back then we said, of course, get the pilot out. He's responsible for 80% of the mishaps. Well, we need a person in the loop, I think, at least for quite a while yet.
What is considered a visual line of sight envelope?
You have this ceiling of 400 feet, and that's to have a 100 feet separation between the minimum normal flying altitude for civilian aircraft. But you do have, of course, other aircraft flying below, like HEMS, police.
Ultimately, you see this technology is good for Norway?
Of course, for the world.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, our next guests are Jochen and Freya, and they're from Hovertech and Dutch Drones.
Yeah, Hovertech is the oil and gas part of the new company, so we're merging together with the Dutch drone company to form a new United Drone Company, or United Group, where we will have experts in different fields using UAVs. We are pretty focused on the industrial side of it, the oil and gas. But it's not about the actual flying, it's about the data that you produce while flying.
And business is?
Business is good. The systems are being used more and more and more. It's like yesterday we used divers, today we use ROVs. Today we use line boats to do the inspections offshore, and tomorrow we will use UAVs.
And we see the use of a UAV, a drone, that's like the platform, and what we noticed that there's lots of possibilities for using UAVs, but being able to deliver a good product to your customer we noticed that's not so easy. You really need experts as well. You need people who are experts in flying, but also in calculating the data and delivering a good product.
So this is Mach 2 Black Hornet, weight of 18 grams. So as far as we know, this is the smallest UAV in operational use in the world today. It can fly for 25 minutes before you have to recharge. It automatically recharges here in the base station when it's locked. You can fly for 1,500 meters or even more, depending a little bit on the line of sight, of course. If you want to go really beyond line of sight, you can also connect to an external antenna. But with this system as such, you can easily go 1,500 meters. It has a ground speed of 5 meters per second, which is an improvement compared to the Block 1 system used by the UK Army, amongst others. So we have increased from 3 meters per second to 5 meters per second, so almost a doubling. We have also improved then the engines, so we can now take a steady state wind of up to 15 knots and gusts from 20 to 25 knots without too many difficulties. It is a real helicopter with a swash plate, so we can pitch the blades and so on, so the helicopter will always lean up against the wind and will adjust the necessary power on the engines to keep its position. In this helicopter, it's 3 EO cameras, but we have recently launched an 800T with a thermal camera on board. So we are now able to offer 24/7 operation with this system. And it's still the same helicopter, the same base station, the same everything. We have just replaced 2 of the EO cameras with 1 thermal, and we have maintained 1 of the EOs so that we are able to do either thermal, EO or fused images.
I work for Anti-Media, as you said. It's a film production company. We do all sorts of commercial work, TV, some future films we do aerials for. And we have a drone department in Anti-Media, we call it Syndrome. Yeah, we did all the aerial drone footage for a film called Supervention. It's a Norwegian ski and snowboarding movie. It was a 2-year project, and we followed the company field production around all over Norway, Canada, into Spitsbergen, and we had some pretty rough conditions. It's a lot of work because not only do you have to rig the drone in steep, avalanche, dangerous areas, but and you got to take all those safety precautions. You still got to have the athletes do their run or do their trick, and they got to be happy with it as well. It's not only going down and doing some turns. If they're jumping off a cliff, they want it to look good. It's difficult. It's snowing, it's windy. You got to waterproof all the gear, or at least make it as waterproof as possible. Snow on the lens is an issue. You know, you can't really. So you just got to improvise all the time and do a lot of battle testing. And it's always a really long way from home as well. And when you get to that point, you know, you got to still rig down all the gear. And you got to rig it down properly, because otherwise you will damage it in the transport. And so it's long days, of course.
What are the plans for the future for Anti-Media? I mean, you guys do
we
more
have
stuff in Europe, or are you coming to the United States?
Yeah, of course we want to expand and make our company bigger. We want to go to States for many years, but it's pretty uncertain on how we should or go ahead with the legal issue of flying over there. We don't want to end up in orange jumpsuits in some kind of prisons for doing. Well, that wouldn't be the case, but we don't want to get fined or stuff like that. We don't want to break the law. We've been trying to do a lot of future films and stuff like that, and of course the place to do that is in the States. if you see it from our point, or at least at my point as a pilot, if I fly this 16 kilo heavy drone and something would have happened and I hit somebody and they might get hurt, they might get even worse, killed, and then I'm doing this without any insurance, without any, I'm doing it illegal.
It's going to make the whole industry look bad.
It's going to make the whole industry look bad, and I'm going to lose my, I can't really do the work anymore. Probably going to get a sentence for it. So,
well, you know,
so you got to think ahead. You know, you can't really just put the drone in the air and think it's going to, hope it's going to go good. You got to be prepared for the worst. And of course, hope for the best.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Drone TV. We got to see a flight demonstration in the sunny skies of Oslo. We learned a little bit about some of the commercial, let's say, success of the companies here and the ecosystem here. I'd also like to thank Interfoto for letting us use their facilities to film this episode. And until next time, thanks for watching Drone TV and reading SUAS News and the rest of our outlets, and we'll see you next time.